Hello, comrades, this is General Luigi, and welcome to Let's Play Fire Emblem Awakening. It is finally time to see what the capital of Elise is like. And I suppose it's technically possible I have seen so many people and I just don't remember it, but that's getting kind of old. I really need to stop that. Yeah, I imagine a major earthquake or volcanic eruption right at the capital would be quite disastrous, to put it lightly. I should hope so. The Exalt, that's your ruler, right? That mark on her forehead. Looks kind of like the one on Crom's arm. Is it a tattoo or something? Certainly understandable. Kind of important to have a strong leader when people are worried. That too, you want to avoid acting rashly. What? So that means you are royalty? Why didn't you tell me this sooner? You know, when I think metaphorical shepherd, I think priest, not ruler. If you say so. Oh, so if they were commoners, you'd give them a good whack on the head for that kind of behavior? Hey. If she is as informal as you are, sure.
Welcome home.
Don't jinx it, Crom.
Thank you.
It's all right.
Might want to watch over the coast, too.
Forgive me.
No.
Excuse me? Belching in front of royalty. Generally not a good idea. In all fairness, they probably could have handled the bandits without me.
Forgive me.
Alright, the spy bit, yeah, I can't really prove that one to be false, but why would a bandit walk among shepherds? I mean, I wouldn't really have many opportunities to wreak havoc if I was right next to the guys dedicated to stopping me. My apologies, I spoke out of turn. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Indeed.
Yes, my lord.
I hope they haven't been wreaking havoc all across Elise. I mean, we were lucky, I suppose, to be there when some of them appeared.
Good.
Okay. What, is it your room in the castle? Apparently not. Okay, and yes, we have unlocked support conversations. We can now view them in the barracks. However, I'm going to do that at another time when it's more convenient. Might seem convenient now, but Lissa wanted to show us something, and I don't want to keep her waiting. Keep her waiting. Blasted tongue of mine. Well, it certainly looks like a garrison. Well, not really a garrison, but a barracks, I suppose. A good place for a garrison. Not a good time for the phone to ring. I'm sorry, I will be right back. Okay, I think they're done. So this is a friend of yours, Lissa? 14 gray hairs. Yeah, that's noticeable. On that, I will agree with you. There are much more pleasant things to eat than bugs and bears. Oh no, we did just fine. I take it he's a bit of a musclehead? No offense, Vaike. Well, I suppose it's kind of hard to say that without offending someone. My apologies. A bit too informal for my own good.
You won't believe this.
Said the pot about the kettle. Although I suppose she has been concerned about someone else. Ouch. I take it she cares about Crom as more than just her superior?
Well,
Is that really the only reason? Ah, right, I'm sorry, I didn't introduce myself. Yeah, the name's Aaron. Have I really shown you that many tricks? And if I'm gonna be a good strategist, I'm going to need a lot more. Give me enough apples and I'm pretty sure I could pull it off, Vaike. That said, I prefer to cover my belches when I am in polite company.
what?
My apologies, I do not know which cloth I am cut from. She seems like a fun person to be with. I gathered that. Well, at least she warms to people. I mean, she seemed to be on good enough terms with Lissa. I will do that. Ah, Crom, done with the meeting? Ooh, are you okay? Sumia, right? No, Crom, I think it was those papers she slipped on. Who left them lying on the floor like that anyway?
Hey.
Regna Ferox? Did I pronounce that right? I don't know, I'm just reading text. Well, I would hope it would be unified. It can't really be called a kingdom if it isn't. So we're relying on barbarians. Okay. I'll admit, when I hear the word barbarian, I don't think trustworthy ally. I think bandit. Still, you lot know a lot more about this place than I do, so I will trust you on this one. Well, this is a diplomatic mission, right?
Right.
Delicate? No offense, Vaike, but you strike me as being about as delicate as a rock.
Captain,
Well, alright. You would know better than I would. Everyone runs the risk of doing that. Yeah, I agree with Crom. Just keep your distance and you'll be fine. Or stay by Crom, although I think it would be kind of dangerous to have you on the battlefield unarmed. Excuse me. Not that Sumia seems to be complaining about being right by Crom's side.
Are you ready?
How long? We aren't going to have to eat our belts, are we?
Wait for me.
Another shepherd, I presume? I'm sorry, I wasn't told there was anyone else who had to be informed about it.
what?
No.
Delicate as a rock, and just about as smart as one, too. Well, I should hope so.
Hey.
All right.
Come on.
And that armor doesn't look particularly comfortable to run in. Don't we have horses or something? Miriel? Ah, then it would appear I have competition. Not for being a strategist, but just for magical prowess. Risen?
Huh? Right.
I see. Interesting name choice. I suppose it's a bit late to pick a different one, though.
Enter the Vaike.
You have got to be kidding me. Durak. Right, the weapon triangle. You might recall me sharing that in the previous episode. So yes. Lances beat swords, swords beat axes. Frederick beats all of them for the time being. Of course, I'm going to try and keep Frederick from getting involved in the fight. just because his stats are... well, not his stats. He's still a bit of an experience hog. Alright, so... we're going to want to be careful about... where was I going with that line of thought? I'm losing it today, aren't I? Alright, we'll move Stahl and Sully here. He should be fine against the fighter and the soldier. What else? Pair Lissa up with the Vaike. They're both unarmed at the moment. Well, I suppose Lissa has her staff, but she doesn't do any damage with it. Put Virion with Frederick. And I'll go ahead and head over here. See if I can get some damage done with this magic before the enemy attacks. Can't say I like my odds, however. Excuse me. Well, that went better than I had hoped. Should I bring Virion up? He will get attacked by this soldier, but he should live. Unless he misses this attack. I'm sorry, I will be back in a moment. Just gonna check some stats, do a little math here. Okay, he'll live. Especially with that defensive bonus from pairing up with Frederick. So even if he misses this shot, he'll be fine. Frederick is still quite useful as simply someone to provide bonuses to anyone who needs extra training. Alright, let's move Lissa over here. Alright, the first time I went through hard mode, this barbarian right here actually killed Stahl. He's the one that pulled off the critical hit, and that's because Stahl was alone that time instead of paired up. You might have seen that the barbarian had no chance of a critical hit this time around. That's because he had Sully's support this time. Well, Stahl had Sully's support, that is to say. So pairing up does offer clear advantages. That barbarian didn't have even the slightest chance of killing Stahl this time around. You are Miriel, I presume? You've been with the Shepherds how long? Alright, and yes, this is our opportunity to learn about trading items. A character can give items to someone else or take items from them. So there you go, now the Vaike has his axe back. Was there really any wonder? I mean, the only person here who uses axes, other than Frederick, is the Vaike.
Thanks.
Beware.
Let's see. Go ahead and bring him over here. Take advantage of that weapon triangle advantage. He's probably gonna get hurt, however. Yep. Oh well. He's a fighter, so he has more HP than most classes. And let's have Virion deal the finishing shot. Even does enough damage to... well, even has high enough accuracy to have a guaranteed hit.
It was a thing of beauty.
Alright. Stahl is kind of in a mess. He's probably not going to survive against all of these guys. Kind of think of it, the Vaike might be in a bit of a mess too. Excuse me. Well, the downsides of this mic is that it's pretty sensitive, so it probably picked that up rather easily. Alright, let's move over here, have Sully attack. Actually, let's not have her attack. We'll just have her wait. And Lissa's not in a position to heal the Vaike. There we go. Alright. Not guaranteed victory, but it'll make things a bit easier on us. Ooh, that could have been really ugly right there. Of course, it could still get really ugly because Vaike killed someone who could have served as a barrier against the enemy. Trying to get the enemy to split their forces turned out to be a bad idea this time around. Not enough room to force the split. Oh boy. Well, at least Lissa can't come in with a dual strike. This way, the enemy doesn't have a chance of getting killed again. Well, okay, I can do some killing. Or not. Oh, no dual strike this time? Ah, well. Alright. Sully, please take care of this pest. What to do about the others, however? Well, Virion can easily finish off that one with 1 hit point. Yeah, come to think of it, we should be alright. Keyword, should. Actually, come to think of it, yeah, let's have Virion deal with this one instead.
I have your back.
Then the Vaike can take care of the other soldier. Actually, this might be a good opportunity to bring Miriel in. Oh, just barely not enough damage to finish it off. Still, experience is experience. Even if it's not as much as I would have liked. Excuse me. Excuse me again. Really need to lay off the soda. This is really risky. Well, having the Vaike attack that soldier, I mean. You know what? It's too risky. I'm going to have him just wait. And it's an opportunity for Miriel to get the kill. So, all's well that ends well. Alright. And now we're introduced to... what was it again? Auto battle? Something they introduced to this game, but which I have never used.
Right.
Bottom line, you're able to allow everyone else to move on their own.
Well,
Rather than simply follow your orders. And I don't get it. Why include this function? The whole point of Fire Emblem is to command your units. That's one of the core mechanics. Well, core mechanics. That's something that's been unchanged in the entire series. Although I suppose the same could be said with the permanence of unit death until New Mystery of the Emblem, which was never released outside of Japan. Anyway, I just don't really understand the reasoning behind this function. I have never used it, so I cannot offer any advice on it. Miriel, how about you come over here? That way Lissa can heal you and take advantage of that sparkling space.
Very gracious of you.
Yeah, we haven't really touched on that yet, but Lissa is a bit self-conscious about her not really acting princess-like. We'll see more of that in some of the support conversations. Let's see what next. Alright, so we're going to want someone with a lance to the left and someone with a sword to the right.
My gratitude.
That way, every enemy that we want to fight... Excuse me. Every enemy that... What am I trying to say here? Both of those enemies that can hit us will be at a disadvantage. That swordsman can only hit Sully, and the axeman can only hit Crom. Still doesn't make a huge difference, but there is the slight damage bonus to take into account. And also the slight boost to accuracy. And it can make a difference in the long run. One hit point can be a lifesaver. Problem with this bridge is that it's a bit of a choke point. A bit of a choke point? It is a choke point! So it's really easy to get swarmed. However, we have the advantage of long-ranged units, such as Virion and Miriel. As well as me, but since I'm paired up with Crom, we'll mostly be fighting up close. Okay. Oh, she won't be able to finish the job unless Sully comes in with a dual strike. Since she's standing next to Miriel, she can actually carry out a dual strike or a dual guard, neither of which happened, unfortunately. How far can Lissa go? Not far enough to heal Crom. Right, she's only got a movement range of 5. Not promoted yet! Yeah, there's actually something called promotion in this game that enables units to change to a new class after getting a certain amount of experience. But more on that when it becomes relevant. For example, Frederick happens to be of a promoted class. Oh dear. Let's switch to Stahl. He's got slightly higher defense. Risky, but worth it in my opinion. I guess I should have healed everyone up before making this advance on the enemy. Here's hoping it doesn't bite me in the butt. Okay, that one was stupid enough to attack Crom instead of Stahl. Okay, I'm certainly not complaining. And you attack Crom as well. Is it because he's such a high priority unit? I mean, it is an instant game over if I lose him. So there is that to take into account. Alright. Let's heal Stahl here. And yes, Miriel should be able to kill this thing. Well, I suppose it's technically not alive to begin with, so you can't really kill it. We destroyed it. How's that? Right, you get to take items from defeated enemies. The game never really offers a solid justification for this. Other than that, the enemy's not going to be using it, and you might as well take it so the enemy... he can't use it. Yeah, let's move Stahl one space forward. Ooh, boy! Let's not move Stahl one space forward. If that enemy dealt even 1 point of damage to Stahl, a critical hit would take him out on the next turn. Good thing I caught that. Wonder how many of you were hoping that I didn't catch it.
Stay calm.
Oh! I do not remember this guy having such a high critical hit rate.
I owe you.
Well, threat's been neutralized now. Seriously, my memory in the practice run is that that thing could not get a critical hit. That could have ended really badly because of my recklessness. I did not take into account the possibility of a critical hit when putting Crom where he was. It almost got me a game over.
I've got you.
Oh, no dual strike? Ah, well. Time for me to do some damage. I've been sitting on the sidelines for too long. Well, not really sidelines here. This isn't a football game. They have sidelines in football, right? I don't know. The football I prefer is the one that most of the world... It's the one that most Americans call soccer. Now, that's another story, however. Go ahead and wait and return. Does Crom need more healing? Yes. Only a little bit, though. So now we just have to heal everyone up.
Thank you.
So I will be back in a bit once I've healed everyone. Oh. That is so appropriate considering how muscular Vaike is. Yes, sometimes you can get little bonuses to support levels through these sparkling spaces if units are paired up. I wouldn't say you're a combat genius, Vaike. Alright, so I will be back in a bit once I've healed everyone. Alright, everyone's been healed. And that does waste a little time when I could have just finished the battle a lot sooner, but with healers, every bit of experience counts. Oh yes, and Lissa improved her staff level while she was healing. Alright, so... What can Crom do? Alright. He will survive. Maybe. Kind of betting everything on being able to take this thing out in one turn.
We can do it.
If that Risen Chief lands even one hit on Crom, he's in danger. Alright, Crom is in danger. Alright. Therion can do plenty of damage and is in no danger of getting killed by a critical hit. Probably thanks to Frederick offering his support. Alright. And you know what? Stahl could use some experience, so we'll have him deal the finishing blow.
Quick and dirty.
Alright. Mission accomplished. And without losing anyone, despite a few close calls. And Stahl even gained a level out of the deal. Always nice. Yeah, that means we can probably expect to run into them anywhere, anytime. So, will we run into them again? Probably, but we will not find out in this episode. I will see you next time.